cough, catarrh, you call it runny nose, whatever you like to call it, sneezing, discomfort, asthma, different kind of problems comes around during the period of Harmattan or during this dusty season. Children fall sick. I heard this talk about rotaviral virus going around for babies and they're struggling to put themselves in order. The effect of dust can never be overemphasized, but I'm telling you what, we have one man in the house who will help us emphasize how you can save yourself from dust and how it affects you. Paul Orukamayan is guilty as charged when it comes to safety tips. He's going to give us the tips to stay safe during this trying period of the dusty season. Hello, Paul. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. And I was just imagining, well, are you trying to tell somebody that the cough is maybe because she didn't stay safe?
Because of the dust. Well, it's not my fault.
She had that little cough just before the cameras came on.
Yes, but it's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault. It's just natural. It's just natural. And we pray that we're going to be looking at some of those few steps that will keep us safe.
All right. So, the floor is all yours. We will not hold you back 1 second. Save our lives. Give us the safety tips this morning.
Okay. Dust is as a result of the earth soil erosion during this dry season. We all know that when the season is dry, popularly called Harmattan, there's tendency that the entire earth's surface become dry. So for every wind, you might end up seeing dust. So in general, dust is a combination of an high wind picking through the soil, through the dry soil that creates environmental eruption. How effective or how bad this could be, we'll look at it as we go on. But it's good for us to understand how does this dust generate. Naturally, the ground, the sands are dry and they remain there until an high wind comes and blow it off. That is when it becomes environmental dust. So each time you drive on the road and you drive recklessly in this season, you discover that you cause soil erosion that's going to lead to a dusty environment. So every risky thing that you do within this period, either you're running, you're driving, you are driving on a dirt road, driving on excessive speed, there's tendency that you're going to lift up the dust. This can also be attributed to what we call climate change, because the effect of what we do by gas emission and environmental pollution tends to increase the amount of time that we stay off rain and continue to increase the dust. What are the major effects of dust to a human being? One, we say it causes respiratory diseases. Respiratory diseases are large number of infection that you can get. You could get increased tuberculosis, you can get increased tetanus while the dusty period is high. You can suffer from sore throat and so on. So if you stay within a dusty environment for a longer time, you stand a chance to suffer respiratory diseases. Other effects could be irritation. Irritation within this period. A lot of people have suffered from eye irritation. While you go out for too long, you discover that you keep pricking your eyes. The reason you keep pricking your eyes is because your eyes are wet, they are called wet structures, and they are internal organs. So when you go out through a dusty area and the dust goes to sit on your eyes, you discover that it starts irritating you and you keep scratching and scratching. It's very dangerous for you to continue to do that, because the more you scratch that eye, the more you itch that eye, the more difficult it is for you to see. It also causes nose irritation. You discover in this period a lot of children tend to prick their nose with their fingers. Or even adult does it most time because the dust have gone to sit inside the nose. And when the child keep pricking that nose, it could cause an internal injury that could expose that child to tetanus and other airborne disease. Because the more they prick, the more injury they cause within the nose. It affects your throat. This is the period people suffer from sore throats, where people have to keep buying drugs and all that and all that. You discover that you have a cracked throat within this period. Your throat irritates you from time to time. Hence, we advise people to always be on water therapy within this period to see how to calm down the effect of the nose. What about your skin? Have you seen people that have the back of their legs tearing? Your lip starts giving parts away. People's palms start tearing. It's as a result of a dusty environment. When you're too much exposed to a dusty environment, it causes skin irritation that leads to skin crack. That's why before you leave your home these days, it's actually good for you to use enough petroleum jelly for you to protect your skin. And for women, you're already lucky because of the lip gloss is also serve as protection for you. Impaired visibility. Do you drive this period during the dusty period? It was nice for me to do Valentine's Day in a remote community, but it was also dangerous for us at a certain point where your visibility rate is less than 10 meters from you, just a very few distance because another vehicle is ahead of us. Now, when you drive within this period, the effect of dust reduces your visibility, so it is easier for somebody to fall into a ditch or run into another car if you are not very careful. So dust also affects your visibility. So if you want to drive this period, ensure, most especially if you are driving at night, ensure that you maintain the regulated speed limit that is recommended by the Road Safety Authority. Final on the effect of dust is conjunctivitis. Have you heard of the word conjunctivitis? Conjunctivitis is a disease that affects the eyes due to excessive dust or irritation within the eye. Some people call it Apollo. I believe you heard of the word Apollo before, where you have a reddish eye that affects both of your eyes and you have serious issues. If it's actually not managed, it could lead to migraine. These are some of the effects of dust on the human body. How do we keep ourselves safe from dust? One, avoid dusty road. While I was discussing with somebody to say avoid dusty road, even myself, I kept smiling. Is it possible to avoid dusty road in Nigeria? It might not be that easy, but you should try to minimize. If you live in a place where the road is not tarred, it's a dirt road, try to reduce the time you spend on that road. If you avoid dusty road, you discover that you suffer less of the effect of dust. Do you own a compound in a dusty environment? Don't think that you affect only the people who use the road. It also affects you and your family. So we always encourage that you water around your surrounding within this period. If you own a compound and the floor of the compound is not interlocked, is not tiled, we encourage you as a way to prevent the effect of dust to ensure that that compound is watered minimum of once in a day. Minimum of once in a day. Once you are able to water the sand within your compound, you have been able to suppress the effect of dust in your immediate environment. And if it's possible, you can extend it to the road, because the dust that are going to be generated from the road will end up coming into your compound and affect your children and even affect you. So we appeal that if you live in an environment that will have a lot of sand this period, please water regularly. 2, 3, you need to put on your face mask whenever you're going out. A lot of people have the mentality that the government is constraining them to put on face masks. And some says coronavirus is a scam. We're not talking about coronavirus right now. We're talking of what the effect the dust can cause to you. And yet, that face mask can prevent you from suffering any respiratory infection. It can save you from nose irritation. It can save you from throat irritation. It can save you from broken lips. So why don't you put on your face mask if you are going out on a dusty environment? Ensure that your face mask is usually on to save you in case you are going out there. And finally, we encourage you to save the environment. Saving the environment means that you need to plant more ornaments around your compound. Ensure that your compound is well grassed. Ensure that you have flowers around your environment. Encourage a greener environment, and the effect of dust will be minimal to both you and the rest of Nigerians.
Well, when they say cleanness is next to godliness, they were into alcohol. It was very, very clear. Their minds were very, very straight, and it was a fact. Godliness means life.
Yeah.
I'm telling you that if you keep your environment clean, you'd have more life.
Yes,
more
you have more life. You don't have, if you have a greener environment, you have reduced sore throats, reduced coughing. I'm not talking to somebody.
No, you're talking to her now.
Okay, so you said if we use nose mask, it's going to stop, or it's going to reduce the
It reduces the effect of dust on you. When you walk on a dusty area, in a dusty area without a face mask, you inhale the dust.
Yeah.
Now it comes and crack your throat. It causes an irritational nose and increase respiratory diseases.
Okay.
So if you put on face mask, obviously it has no way to go inside to cause any of these effects.
Okay.
So the nose mask does even bigger, or the face mask does even greater than holding coronavirus. It can save you from dust.
Yeah.
It can save you from that. Okay, put on your face mask. We even have our camera team here clearly, notably on their face mask. I think those who also handle the road, who sweep the main road, they should also don the face mask.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it goes
They're
on
at
and on.
great risk.
You can keep your environment clean. If you, I know Lilibet, I can boast with Lilibet how clean she is as a person.
Okay.
Every time we've paid her a visit, we paid her a visit.
But she should,
very clean house.
She should water.
But then one thing they don't do, women, is that because of all the beautiful makeup on their faces, when they use the popular tricycle or the keke napep, they don't don that face mask.
No,
Because
but
they
I
wanna keep them
do
pretty.
use my face mask, especially when I'm when I'm on a bike.
Or a
I use my
tricycle.
yes,
It's
I
very
use my
necessary.
face mask.
It's cheaper for them. They usually have bags, not like us. So it is cheaper
Yeah.
for
Even
you
if you
to
have
put
the
in your
lipstick,
face.
even if you have the lipstick on,
You
there's
still
a way
need
you
your
there's a
face
way you there's a way you fold your mouth and it doesn't touch. Yes, there's a way.
Yeah,
it
once
doesn't
you
touch.
cover.
Yeah.
Okay, do that again and look at the camera clearly. Okay.
It doesn't touch.
I think